Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of DTV, the Digital Transformation Channel. My name is Leila Modarres. I'm the CMO of Infostretch, and I'm pleased to bring you today Alan Shimel, Editor-in-Chief of DevOps.com. Alan, welcome to DTV. So you've been in the epicenter of the media world for quite some time now. So I was wondering if you can share some of your experience in terms of how digital has transformed the world of media.
I'm old enough to remember running down to the magazine stand and getting the latest copy of PC World or
Wow.
Computer Shopper. Remember all those
Yeah, yeah,
kinds of magazines we used to get all our information from. And then
yeah,
with the advent of the internet, print media went away, right? Well, at
yeah.
least in the technology game. And now what we're seeing though is the death of long form journalism, of long form content, right? When I was founding companies and I ran marketing and sales, white papers, case studies
Right.
were the lifeblood of our departments. Who reads those anymore? So conversely, video, audio are what people are consuming now.
So you speak to a lot of different companies about DevOps, and that's a big part of digital transformation. So I guess the question is, what are the challenges that these developers are facing?
Great question, Leila. I'm not one of these orthodox people who believe that DevOps is just about developers and operations. I think DevOps has become almost a code word that's synonymous with digital transformation,
Hmm.
right? And you're right, I spend a lot of my time talking to large organization leadership about what are they doing and why are they doing it around DevOps, digital transformation, agile, things like this. And really, what it comes down to is this: our expectations have been blown up as a result of the times we live in and the need for instant gratification. We were talking earlier. If I take a flight these days and my internet's not fast enough at 35,000 feet, I'm moaning and groaning, right? 10, 20 years ago, I would have been happy just to been able to have a tin can and a string communication. But
Right,
I'm not
exactly.
streaming video. I'm really upset about it. And it's that same kind of thing. People want I want 2-day free shipping. I'm not going to pay for shipping and I want it right away. I want instant download. That's what that's what customers are demanding. So for businesses
Right.
to be successful today, they need to deliver on that. And that's what's driving digital transformation. Because the same way the customers are pushing these organizations
Yeah.
to deliver at that speed and at that quality, their competition is pushing them as well, right? The key to digital transformation is number one, speed, acceleration, velocity. Number two, quality.
Hmm.
People don't want to when something doesn't work, it's unacceptable today,
Hmm.
right? It used to be, you know what? That's airplanes. They're always late. Or the phone works sometimes it doesn't. My cell service is a little spotty. Your cell service on your phone is spotty today. You're spinning wooden nickels, right? You're really upset.
Right,
There's no reason.
right.
My cell has to work all the time, and
Yeah.
and that's what's driving these organizations.
What are companies investing in now versus what might be coming down the pike in the future? I mean, we hear a lot about machine learning, we hear a lot about AI. Is that actually a futuristic thing, or is there specific areas that they're really focusing on now to get there?
It's important to draw a distinction between machine learning and AI.
Right.
I
Okay.
Machine learning is easier at some level, right? It's the kind of stuff we've done just a little bit faster and better. Where we, what drives all of that though is big data. You can't have machine learning. You really can't even have AI
Hmm.
without harnessing the data. So I see a huge investment in big data solutions. And when
Right.
we talk, what does that mean? Well, number one, you got to be able to store that data, right?
Yeah.
And the cloud has given us kind of ubiquitous cheap storage, which allows us to store not just terabytes, but petabytes and all of that kind of stuff, right? Number two, you need great technology that can do that analysis. Number three, the pattern finders, if you will. At each step here, it's a huge investment in infrastructure, even though it may
Right,
be cloud and it's not the old regular spending, but um, it's also a large investment in training and people and talent, right?
right, right.
There's the
Yeah.
skill sets there. So we see huge investments in there. We also see huge investments in automation.
So, is there an industry or a type of organization that you feel is more ripe than the next to be able to easily digitally transform without a lot of hiccups or barriers?
I think the bigger company is the one who needs it more. So I think, and I ran into this when I first started DevOps.com. People said,
Right,
"Oh, DevOps is good for startups, but financial institutions, large enterprises, manufacturing, they don't need DevOps."
right,
Nonsense. They need DevOps more than the rest of them, right? Small companies, startups, they do DevOps out of necessity, but what they do is not DevOps per se. They just have a lot of people wearing a lot of hats,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
right? So there's no plan. It's just, but that doesn't necessarily scale. As those small companies grow bigger and people take hats off, they
Right,
don't have the structure to truly scale.
right,
Large organizations do. And believe it or not, I see the greatest innovation in these highly regulated industries. What I see happening in banking, not just here in the US, but across the world,
right,
Europe especially, Asia, banks are recognizing that their customers are demanding better service. They're not investing in brick and mortar branches. They're not investing in that kind of stuff. They're investing in their apps on their phones so that
mm-hmm,
people can do banking wherever they are, from wherever
mm-hmm.
they are. An outrageous amount of the transactions of the commerce exchanges in China, everything from buying a food at a vendor to an item in a store is done over your phone using, WePay or Alipay.
Yeah.
We're kind of behind the curve on it here in the US.
What would be your advice to these organizations, to these leaders who are trying to take these organizations and evolve them and create more, agile initiatives across the organizations for them to really be able to digitally transform and grow and stay competitive?
It's number one because I think it's the most important thing. Provide strong leadership from top, right? Digital transformations don't happen from the bottom up or even from the middle out. They happen from the top down. There has to be strong executive leadership that says, we are doing this. I know it may not always be easy, and I know it's going to cause us some pain here and there, but in the long run, we're all better because of it. And I am the leader here, and I am strongly behind this. Right.
Mm-hmm,
So number one, executive leadership. Number two, you really have to take a good look at your culture.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Human nature is we are resistant to change, right? No one stands up and says, "Oh, I can't wait to change everything and turn it
mm-hmm.
upside down." Right? No
Right,
one, it's their jobs. They have families, they rely on paychecks. No one wants to change.
right,
Culturally, you need to get your people to accept change,
right.
right? And that's not an easy thing. It's not
No.
even, you know, that in and of itself leads me to number three, which is don't try to do it yourself,
Yeah.
right? This is the whole digital transformation thing, from the cultural aspect to the picking the right technology aspect, is not for amateurs, and you can't afford too many missteps. You'll crater your company.
Right.
My number
Yeah.
three advice is bring in experts. Bring
Yeah.
in people who've done it before. Bring in people who can bring some experience here, not just in your business, but to the greater digital transformation
Right.
challenge. Right. So
Yeah.
bring in experts. Don't do it yourself. Number four, set realistic goals.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I can't tell you how many executives I've met with they'll talk to you and say, "Oh, our digital transformation didn't go so well. It was a failure," or "We didn't." They don't say it's a failure. We didn't achieve the goals we were looking for.
Yeah. Right.
Well, because
Right.
you had unrealistic goals. Did you really think you were going to make, you know, lead into gold overnight? Well, we're not Rumpelstiltskin here. We're not, you know,
Right. Right.
uh,
Yeah,
have realistic goals with a realistic plan to get there.
that's very
Right?
true. Yep.
Right? So
Yeah.
that's number four. And then number five, build on success, reward
Mhm.
success, tout success,
Mhm.
build on it, allow that success to spread to the organization. Don't 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 make it all about you, right? I am the leader who transformed the company. No, we as a team transformed this company,
Right.
and we're going to continue to transform it. And we
Right.
also recognize that it's never done.
Right.
It's always growing, always evolving,
Yeah.
always getting better. So those are my five rules.
Great. So this was very helpful. Thank you so much for your input. Very good insight on some of the steps that need to be taken by some of these leaders to really be able to incorporate a successful digital journey. Alan, thank you very much for your time today. Everyone, this concludes our episode this episode of DTV. Thank you all for joining. And if you're passionate about digital transformation, you have an opinion, we would love to have you on our show. Please contact us at dtv@infostretch.com. I want my DTV!